I went on my first deployment during the surge in Afghanistan in 2010. In 2011, then I redeployed again as part of 1st Infantry Division in 2013. And so my story began is that I'm an artillery officer in an aviation unit, and what I was thrown at is the battle captain for that unit, meaning that I was responsible for all the flights and all the helicopters and all the air assets, essentially for Regional Command South, in the greater sense that, you know, colonels and very high ranking, they tell you generally what their intent is. But as far as mission execution and making very, very quick decisions, that falls on a captain generally, or a major. And so for my story, I was in Kandahar, and I have 12-man staff, and I have, you know, people, all sorts of battle tracking and all sorts of events going on. Well, one particular day, there was a firefight 70 miles north of me. And in this firefight between the Taliban and your Afghan security forces, an 8-year-old girl got shot in the chest, which is horrible in of itself. But then you hear about it and it strikes you. And then what's even worse is that she would have to be medically moved, CASEVAC, ground moved to a landing zone and then picked up from a secure area. Well, she's 70 miles north of me. And my nearest helicopters have already been in the air for 6 hours. And they are done, they're at their wits' end. And the colonels are gone, the majors are gone. No one's even available to make that decision. And you know that an Apache costs $3,000 to stay up in the air per hour. And I have 2 of them available, but they're angry. I have no medevac helicopter even remotely near me. The ground force is asking for it, but if it can't be done, it can't be done. And you look at yourself, and then you look at the 12 people around you, and you know that every part, every fiber of this uniform says, no, Stephen, just make the right decision, or make the easy call, land the helicopters, say you can't facilitate this medevac, and call it a day. But I looked around and I saw 12 people looking at me, waiting for a decision from this captain. And for that brief moment, I looked at my rank, and you put your career on your line, because should something happen to these helicopters, if I do this, should something happen to the helicopters, should, you know, I retask them to this event for the sake of an 8-year-old girl that I don't even know, that won't affect the mission. She's not a senator, she's not, you know, she's not a district leader at all. Do I want to do that? That's 10 years in the Army, gone, if something happens. But I knew that my men would see it, that, you know, just because we can land the planes doesn't mean we should have landed the planes, or the helicopters in this case. And I agree with what you said. It is very, like, the things you do haunt you. And it wasn't so much the fear of that, it was the knowing that I could have helped. And that for one day, Captain Maxwell could have done something.